What most people call too sensitive is actually something else entirely. You cry at a song, at a stranger's story, at something small that somehow hits harder than it should. And people around you have opinions about that. You're so emotional. Why do you take everything so personally? It's not even that serious. So you learn to manage it. You cry in cars, in bathrooms, in those few seconds before you have to walk back in, face composed, eyes dry, ready to pretend. But here's what nobody ever told you. The way your brain feels this deeply, that's not a flaw in your system. That's the system working exactly as it was built to. Some brains are wired differently, not broken differently, built differently. And there's a very specific reason for that. But where does this come from? Some people are born this way. Others had to become this way. Not by choice, by necessity. Picture a child who learned to read the room before they learned to read words, who knew just from the sound of footsteps what kind of evening was coming, who watched faces carefully, not out of curiosity, out of survival. That child didn't choose sensitivity. Sensitivity chose them. Because in certain environments, feelings weren't just feelings. They were information, early warning signals, the difference between safe and unsafe. So they got good at it, really good. They memorized the weight of silence at the dinner table, the difference between a quiet that was peaceful and a quiet that was about to break. And that skill, that deep, careful, exhausting skill, it never turned off. Even now, even here, even in moments that have nothing to do with survival, your nervous system is still listening, still reading, still feeling everything. Everyone in the room watched the same movie, same screen, same story, same ending. One person laughs at the right moments, claps at the end, moves on. But you're still thinking about that one scene 20 minutes later, the one nobody else mentioned, the one that felt true in a way you couldn't explain out loud. That's not oversensitivity. That's death. Your brain doesn't just receive an experience and file it away. It runs it through everything, every memory you carry, every meaning you've built, every layer underneath the surface. Psychologists call this sensory processing sensitivity. Your brain is literally processing more information than most people's brains filter in. Think of it like this. Most people are watching the world in standard definition. You're watching in something much higher. Every detail, every texture, every emotional frequency, all of it, all at once. But here's what nobody tells you. That same depth that makes you cry at a song is the exact same depth that makes you see things others walk right past. The look someone is hiding, the moment a room shifts, the thing left unsaid that says everything. You catch all of it. And this is where it quietly gets worse. You don't just feel your own emotions, you feel the room. Someone's tone shifts slightly, and you catch it before you even realize you caught it. A friend says, "I'm fine," and something in your chest already knows they're not. You walk into a space and feel the energy before a single word is spoken. That's not you being dramatic. That's not imagination. That's information. Your nervous system picks up signals that most people's brains automatically filter out. The faint ones, the quiet ones, the ones that arrive as a tightness in your chest before your mind has a name for them. And when that input keeps building, when the signals keep coming and there's nowhere for them to go, it comes out as tears. Not because something broke, because something registered. And this is where it gets strange. Research shows that people wired this way are often the first to sense when something is genuinely wrong, in relationships, in rooms, in people they love. You're not overreacting. You're over-receiving. There's a difference, a big one, and most people never understand that about you. But the real reason goes even deeper. There's a moment most people never talk about. You're sitting in that car, parked outside, engine off, and you're not even sure what you're crying about. It's not one thing, it's everything. Slightly, quietly, accumulating. A comment from 3 days ago, the face someone made, the conversation that ended too quickly, the thing nobody noticed except you. You replay it, not because you're weak, because your mind wants to understand it fully, to find the complete meaning, to process every layer before it finally lets go. Most people release things quickly. You don't. You hold them. You turn them over. You sit with them longer than feels comfortable. Most people never see this part. This is also why you cry for others, not just with them, for them. For the version of them that's hurting in a way they can't say out loud yet. You feel their weight like it's your own. That's not a burden you chose to carry. That's a gift you were given, without a manual. But wait, there's something else. The world moves really fast, and it doesn't leave much room for people who feel at full volume. So you learn to turn it down. You smiled sooner than you felt it, laughed things off when they landed hard, said "I'm fine" more times than you can count, apologized for your tears before anyone even asked you to. You became fluent in performing okay, and you got good at it, really good. Stay with me here, because this next part changes how you see everything. The cost of that performance, it doesn't disappear. It shows up later, in that car, in those 3 minutes where you finally let yourself feel everything you held back all day. Psychologists call this emotional suppression, and over time, the body starts keeping score. The tension in your shoulders, the exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix, the sudden tears at something small that was never really about that small thing. Here's what people get completely wrong about you. You are not the most dramatic person in the room. You're the most honest one. Everyone else is just better at pretending. And this changes everything. Somewhere along the way, someone handed you a verdict. Too sensitive, too emotional, too much. And because you felt things so deeply, you believed them. You started editing yourself before you even opened your mouth, watching your own reactions before anyone else could watch them first, building a quieter version of yourself, a smaller one that felt safer to show the world. But here's what that verdict got completely wrong. Nothing is wrong with you. You were never broken. You were just wired to field the full signal in a world that taught everyone else to mute theirs. That's not a flaw. That's a different operating system. One that costs more to run. One that asks more of you every single day. But one that also sees more, connects more, understands more. The people who called you too much were often people who felt too little and didn't know how to say it. Your depth made them uncomfortable. That's not your problem to fix. You came here thinking something was wrong with the way you feel. You leave knowing feeling deeply was never the problem. It was always the misunderstanding. That shift is everything. You'll still cry at songs, at small things, at the quiet moments others walk straight past. But now you know what that means. It means your mind is working, reading deeper, feeling fuller, staying present in a world that mostly learned to look away. Go back to that car, the one parked outside, tears on your face, 3 minutes before you have to walk back in. That wasn't weakness sitting there. That was someone who felt everything and still got out of the car. Every single time. And if this felt familiar, if something in this video made you pause and think, this is actually me, there's a reason you found this. The next video goes even deeper into the way your mind works, the patterns, the depth, the things nobody ever explained to you. It's already waiting for you.